Hey everybody, it's Janet with Future Ready Consulting. We are excited to have you here today to talk about Canva and how you can use it for your holiday marketing. And my partner in crime, Lindsay Newland. Hi Lindsay, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Well, introduce yourself and
Okay. I'm Lindsay Newland. I'm a graphic and website designer, business coach for not so small business here in Southeast Iowa. I work very closely also with my local Main Street network, and so I do a lot of business coaching through there as well. We've got lots of entrepreneurs kind of cropping up in our town of 27,000 people. So I'm excited to build the business community and to teach what I know about design and about Canva on how to make things easy for you, so that way it empowers you to be able to move forward in building whatever you need to online.
absolutely. And so my background is in education as well as I am an entrepreneur myself. I was the Ohio Grow with Google Main Street coach, and Lindsay was the Iowa version of that. And we have helped lots of small businesses. I'm excited. The holidays always bring opportunities for small businesses to run specials and do cool events. And so I'm excited to support that. And we're going to be working with some small businesses in Kentucky next year, which we're very excited about as well. So that's really cool. So if you are watching us live, the comments are available. You either have to be in the StreamYard app or in your YouTube account. You have to be logged in. We would love to see comments from you. So if you are watching live, pop in there where you're from, who you are, what business you own, so we can plug your business. And we'll kind of wait if you people want to do that, and then we will get started. So a little bit about what we're covering today. Lindsay, why don't you do a quick overview of what you're going to cover, then I'll talk about what I'm going to cover.
So what we're doing today is we are covering how to do some holiday graphics. It's going to be a little bit more advanced beyond the basics class. We did a basics of Canva just a couple weeks ago, so I would highly recommend going and watching that video. I'm sure Janet can link that below for you, so that way you
I
can
will.
reference that. So go brush up on those basics. This one is going to be covering not only holiday graphics, but video, a little bit of audio, and then how to utilize the Canva templates and turn those into what's going to apply for your specific business. So I'm excited.
Here we go. So we've got Renee from Painesville. Hey, Renee, how's it going? So happy to have you. Main Street, Painesville. So I had some fun in Painesville this past year. So glad to see you, Renee. That's awesome. All right. So if anyone else comes in, please feel free to post your name and business and any questions you have. We'll stop and answer any questions while we're live. And if you are watching the recording, you can post questions in the comments below, and we will answer those as well as we have time. Also, don't try to write everything down or follow along because we're going to move along, but you can come back and watch the recording. So that will always be available on the Future Ready Consulting YouTube channel. And at some point, it might get on Lindsay's new YouTube channel. So we'll get that up there as well. All right, I think we should get started because you got a lot of good stuff to share. So let
Definitely.
me switch over to a view that will allow you to do that. And of course, now the buttons aren't working, Lindsay, as you know. They only work when we're practicing. All right, hold on. There we go.
Okay, awesome. So I have about 12 slides here, and I'm going to be demonstrating several different concepts and just practicing along the way. And these are all concepts that you're going to be able to use in your own business, or just kind of brushing up on maybe things you already know. And so let's go ahead and get started. So holiday graphics with Canva, boost your holiday marketing, powered by Future Ready Consulting. Our first slide is a Thanksgiving slide. I've focused this presentation mainly on Thanksgiving and holiday / Christmas, and also New Year's. So we'll be able to cover quite a bit of concepts along the way here. So this particular graphic is just a template from on the templates that Canva provides, and where I have found that over here on the left-hand side. So if you click on design, you can do a lot of different searches. So if their Thanksgiving is already offered up to you, so if I click on Thanksgiving, it's going to give me lots of different options depending on your graphic style. If you are a business or an organization that focuses on more images and real life photography in your brand versus illustration, I would recommend kind of staying in that same vein. And so what you can click on whichever one kind of speaks to you. In order for you to get the video, I went up here and I clicked on Thanksgiving and I did a search for video. And this is what I just clicked on, the very first one, and added this into its a pro feature. I already pay for Canva Pro, which is, in my opinion, one of the best investments that anybody can make in their business. If you're a nonprofit, Canva does provide nonprofit team subscriptions, and so that might benefit you, in your organization. So this is a pro graphic that they've added here, and I'm going to go right over here. If I hover over this, I'm going to close that panel. If I hover over this, it's going to give me a play button right here in the center. And then I can view what is that going to look like when it plays, and it's probably going to play, for about 5.3 seconds. If I hover over this little bar over here, it will tell me how long that snippet is. And so whenever it comes up in someone's feed, it will automatically play as long as they're in, say, the Facebook app or the Instagram app. And the formatting that I've used today is just the Instagram. Yeah, definitely. It's so I'm sorry, let me see. Definitely. Okay, the formatting that I've used for this particular presentation is the Instagram, so everything is perfectly square. And the reason why I do that is because I like things that are simple and easy. And so whenever I'm clicking on whichever template that I'd like to use, I really like to turn it on to the Instagram, so that way I can publish to Instagram and Facebook and not have any part of my graphic that gets cut off. So I automatically choose the Instagram format, and it's entirely up to you how you want to do that. And so when I click on this video here, there's a panel that comes up here at the very top that I'm wanting to talk about. So if I want to edit any of the if I want to edit different components of this video, so I can add filters. I can, just depends on, I can click on see all if I'm wanting a different feel to this graphic. I can click on all kinds of different filters there, just for you to be able to stay on brand. There's background removers, there's playback, you can do video speed, I can increase how fast this goes. So if I'm using this in an application that I only have 2 seconds, or I only have 1.5 seconds to get my point across, then I can change my video speed. There's all kinds of different controls here. So then also what I can do is I can click, I'm back up here in this panel, I can click on trim. And so if I'm stacking a couple different videos together, I might put those together, and then I'm able to trim the length. So depending on, sometimes, a really good example, in our community, there's an organization that is currently doing, they're offering a $5,000 entry, or an entry into a contest for $5,000. And the task is for nonprofit organizations to put together a video that's between 30 seconds and 2 minutes. And so what you would do is this trim feature would allow you to, if you wanted to get your snippets kind of squeezed together so that way you can get as much information into your video as possible, what you can do is move this slider back, and you can time it to however long you're wanting. So you can also, based on your content, like if you have someone speaking and you wanted to trim it all the way to the end of where they were speaking, you can add that video there, and then click this trim button up here, and that will help you kind of squeeze or tighten up that content, so that way there's not so much dead space in your video. There's also a playback feature here. This was also in the edit panel. And then there's also a crop feature. So if I click on that, notice how the original image or the original video is actually quite a bit larger than my view space. And so this allows you to if I'm wanting more of this to be emphasized, then what I can do is I can move that around under the crop feature. All right. And then I'm still clicked on this. There's also a transparency panel here that if you're wanting, to kind of maybe I wanted the Happy Thanksgiving to be brighter or darker, or more visible, like if I want it to be orange, but it doesn't really show up on that background very well, then I can change my transparency, and I can change also the color that's behind here as well. So that way, there's different moods and different styles that you can use with your video. So those are the really nice controls that Canva offers you and puts you in full control of whatever your video is wanting to demonstrate. All right, we'll move right on to the next here. So on this one, this is also, you may have seen this when I clicked on, maybe not Thanksgiving video, but just Thanksgiving. And it was one of the very first, like this one right here. So all I did was click on the template. It automatically adds it to my artboard. And each one of these elements is movable, scalable. If I click on this, there's different controls on the very corners. Whatever your dot is, you're able to move these around. And the nice thing about these templates is that you don't have to be an expert at design for you to just click on that template and at least get something started on the board. And that really makes a lot of difference with a lot of business owners, because a lot of times one of the chief complaints that I hear is, well, I don't know what to put, or I don't know where to put things. And so the nice thing about Canva is it kind of at least bridges that gap between having a blank screen and actually getting something on the page, so that way you can move it around. Okay, so they've used a box around here to kind of create that focal point. And then I also want to, like, if you click on a template, I would highly recommend not just going and using that template without creating some sort of branding there. So if I click on any one of these words, I'm able to go up into this panel here. I'm able to change this into my own colors. And it just so happens that I'm going to use my own colors because I don't have Janet's colors loaded in here. But if I'm also able to access my own brand.
You should definitely use your own brand.
Okay, all right, good. I'm glad I have your permission to do that on your channel.
That's all okay. Good. We're not all blue and yeah.
Right. Well, actually, our colors are really not that far off of each other, so
there we
it actually
go.
kind of works out pretty well. Yeah. All right. So if I wanted this to be closer to my own brand, which I highly recommend using typography and your color palette to bring things, so people are starting to recognize as they're scrolling, they will recognize your colors, your vibe. They'll start to recognize that, and so it just helps establish trust right away when people are seeing things online that are directly from you. So what I've done is I've gone and I've added my own, this Orlego One regular. And one benefit here also is that anything that's in this template that is a Source Serif Pro, it's offering me the option where I can just click change all, and it automatically changes all of those. So Canva does, they really do think ahead, and they really do pay attention on trying to help you save time and get to that next level pretty quickly. So they've kind of thought ahead on what is a person going to need? Well, they're going to need to be able to change all of their type all into one font all at the same time. So they make it really easy for you. I also want to emphasize just the content of this graphic. During the holidays, it's extremely important when you're marketing or just being able to clearly communicate what your hours are. So if you're closed on Thanksgiving or closed on Christmas Eve, that's perfectly fine. Nobody's judging you for that. And so, but but make sure that you're actually communicating, and don't forget to put that up as either a graphic, or don't forget to very early be hanging a sign on your door letting people know what your holiday hours are. And so that's just another layer of trust, because people really don't want to waste their time getting in their car, coming downtown, trying to pull on that door and you're not there. And so communicating very clearly if you have special hours during the holiday is a really great way for you to establish trust with your community.
I have a personal story in regards to that, if I might.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I was looking for what restaurants and opportunities there were for Thanksgiving for us this year, but I was already looking at that like November 1st. And
Yeah.
there was a ton of restaurants with no information, or that was from last year, or so. Yeah, I guess this should probably be, if you're a restaurant or a place that does activities for families, I would get this one up ASAP and post it each week till Thanksgiving, because people are already making those plans. So that's a great point, Lindsay. Thanks for making that.
Sure. Okay, so on the next one, this is just another Thanksgiving post. I don't particularly like the background, so I'm just going to demonstrate what would it look like for me to change the background. So I'm going to go over here to Elements on this left-hand panel here. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to type in just a fall background. And then it's going to give me all kinds of different options. It'll give me graphics, photos, videos is a really great one. I'm just going to go into photos just because for the sake of this, and it's going to give me all kinds of different ones. And so depending on what I want to communicate, or what kind of message I'm wanting to send, I can choose something that's based on my preference, or the vibe that I'm trying to go for. So I actually really like this one that has a little bit of fog, and to see isn't that great? That just looks great. And I hadn't planned that. That looks really good. So
I'm sold. I love it.
I love the fog. I love, actually looks like northeast Iowa during the fall season. So that's probably why I like it so much. When I was traveling for Google, I got a really great opportunities to see, northeast Iowa in the fall season in October, and it just was in all its glory. So I really like this image.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
So do you see how I'm going to go ahead and undo this just so you can see? So what I did was I brought this up. Okay, I don't mind the text. Okay, it's fine. It's just not my favorite. Maybe I want to make it more my brand. So I just grabbed this image and I just hovered over it, and it automatically snapped in there. And if I was wanting to move this image around, because obviously I can see that it's not square, I can just double click this, and I can move this around depending on where my text is at, and then I click out of it, and it automatically snaps into that format. And so then I can also go back, and once again I can go back and change all of this to mine. I can, let's just go to 104. Okay, so then I'm getting a little bit closer to what I want for my brand, or what I'm trying to communicate. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to the next one. This is another template that I just pulled right out of, and you see how we're into the holiday, more of the Christmas kind of backgrounds and things. So I went in and I just clicked on, the greenest, there it is right here. The greenest thing I could click on, and you see how they have all kinds of different backgrounds. They have different styles here. Some are illustrations, some are images, some are, different. They kind of merge the two, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. So there's lots of different options there. So I clicked on this one because I wanted to demonstrate each one of these elements is a separate thing. So I'm able to grab this, move that around. This here is an ornament I see that I actually didn't see before. I see that. I'm just going to undo so I can snap those back. Okay. This guy is a separate element. This is a separate element. So just because you see something on your template and you click it does not mean that you have to keep that. So if you don't like the busyness of this snow right here, you can just delete it and just take that right off. or if you don't like the extra ornament on there, I think what they're trying to do is tie this blue color up into here. But if you don't like that, you can just take that right off. And I like things that are really clean and simple, and so that tends to work a little bit better for me. But you can also, if you're a person who likes the extras, you can just add the extras. And so I'm going to show you in a little bit about how to add, a textured background and things like that. So one comment I want to make about just the Christmas versus the holiday. Sometimes there's a lot of argument about what words we should be using. Either should we use Christmas or should we use holiday? I would always err on the side of being inclusive and understanding that not everybody practices Christmas. I looked up some information just last night about Christmas, the Christmas holiday, and it's about 50-50. The people who practice Christmas, it's 50% feel that it's a religious holiday, 50% feel that it's just a cultural holiday. And so there's a lot of different ideas about using one or the other. Maybe Janet has something to say on that.
Oh, I agree. And so I kind of go by, if I don't have time to post for each of the different kind of holidays around that time, I go with holiday generally, like happy holidays. But if I have time to do a Christmas post, a Hanukkah post, some of the other posts, then I go ahead and I'll call out Christmas but all the other ones. So that's just what I do. But I agree. You want to show your business is supportive of all different types of business. So I think that's great messaging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just a couple other statistics on just the average holiday spending is $1,000 per person. So that's we spend a lot on holiday spending, and 65% of consumers start shopping before December, and 56% start before Thanksgiving. So there's a lot of people already shopping by the time Thanksgiving even begins, and a lot of people that have started before December. And I wish that I had written the statistic about how many people are shopping online. It's something in the area of 65% of all shoppers are shopping online. And so the brick and mortar stores that don't have the access, you're not offering your customers access to purchase online from you, whether they're in your hometown or not. You may be restricting some of your cash flow there. So it's important. It's an important concept or idea, at least, to make sure that you're on some level making sure that your products are displayed at the very minimum online, because people are shopping. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that they're purchasing online, but they're shopping online before they come to your store. It's just an important idea to touch on. So, okay, so this graphic, I want to go between the two here. So this one, shows a very, very different style than the one before. And you can obviously see that this graphic here is more that the vibe is entirely different. The way that you feel when you look at it is entirely different than if you're on something like this. Each one of these, you are able to, I'm just going to grab, let's see, I've just done some things for Jewel, Iowa. If I wanted this picture to be in here, all I have to do is drag that onto there and it snaps right to it. If I wanted maybe some of my supportive pattern branding and things like that, if I wanted that in there, then I could slap that in there or drag that in there. So it's really up to you how you publish your graphic or what you add to it. And so I also want to go over here. Each one of these elements, as I demonstrated before, each one of these elements, you're able to move around. And you are also able to change the colors. So if I'm going to actually use, instead of my own colors, I'm going to use Main Street Atumwa, their branding. So what I would do is I would click on that green and I would probably make it this green. And then I would click on this red and I would make it this purple, this gold, and then this yellow I could change to my own. So see how it takes on an entirely different feel and helps my brand based on the color palette that I'm using. So each one of these elements as you click on them, you're able to change the a lot of them are you're able to change. I don't want to say all of them, but a lot of the graphics that Canva is offering to you, it allows you to change the colors based on your brand. Then if you're a person who, instead of saying Christmas, you wanted to say holiday, the text on here is also editable. And I would highly recommend putting your brand or your logo on a lot of different things as well. So this here is, as you can see, it's very sparkly, it's very bright, would catch someone's attention right away. And it's kind of a merging between your images and then using a graphic over the top of it. And so if you're a company or a business or an organization that's using illustration and photographs, then this is a really great graphic for you to kind of merge the two. If you don't like these extra little sparkles, these animated sparkles, you can take those off of there if you want more of a something flat graphic, depending on your style. But you can also leave it on there too and make it, you can see, you can push the play button and see what it's doing. You can move these around, see how I can change the colors up here, as I've mentioned. So I just wanted to demonstrate what that looks like if you're trying to merge the two and making illustration or graphic style and photographs at the same time. I love this one as well. So you see that there's a video there, but it's inside this phone frame. This is a really great way for you to demonstrate some of your product. Like my sister has a soap company. Now soap is going to be soap regardless. Throughout the year, it's going to just be soap. And so this is a really great way for you to take video of maybe you're packaging the soap, or maybe you're wrapping twine around the soap, or that kind of thing, and turning it into something more festive. And so that way people are, they're not getting bored by your content of you showing the same product over and over again. What you're able to do is kind of turn that into holiday branded graphics there.
Lindsay, I love this. This is, I was telling Lindsay, we kind of co-create these, but when she showed me this, I was like, I got to use that.
Right,
So that's
right.
great. So where can they find the frame? So how do they find like that phone frame?
Yes, so you'll go to elements, and I already have fall background in there, but so I'm going to click on frame, and all of my frames are going to be in here. If you don't want to search all the way through, oh, it's actually right here. But if you don't want to search all the way through, you can just click up here and say text phone frame, or do some sort of search for. I was actually looking for an ornament frame yesterday when I was putting this together, and it came right up with a couple different options for ornament frames. So what I do is I click on and I add that frame, and anything that has the little cloud on it, I'm able to drag. Let me just okay, I'm able to just drag that into. Now, of course, it will cut off some of based on where my image is centered, it's going to cut that off because it's obviously a frame. But yeah, that's how you do that. So go to elements and then frame, and then click on the appropriate frame. There's one that's a laptop, there's one that's an iPad here, and then you just drag whatever image you want into that frame, and it automatically does that for you.
Well, and I think frames are a great way to change how you display pictures or different things on your projects, because trying to get a circle or trying to get that perfect whatever rounded corners, or but they have all kinds of, you can see in her shot there's all kinds of different frames and shapes, and this is a great way to mock up products and do things. I love this, and this is one of the unique things to Canva, because to do that in another graphics program takes some effort. So and I've never done the video in there. I don't think, maybe I have, but this is just a great way to show your product. So thank you for showing us this. This is great.
Mm-hmm. Then the next slide is mainly I wanted to show you I'm going to play this. What they've done is they've put the B-roll of them wrapping something in the background, and so here the video is your focal point. It's inside that phone. you kind of grabbing that attention all the way into that phone where they're focused in on what's happening on that phone. Here, what they're doing is they're turning a graphic or that video or that b-roll in the background into the movement behind, but the focal point is where that's this text that says Santa Claus. And you can change any of these. Like this is just an icon that they found, that they would have found over here in Elements, and then they typed out Santa Claus. What they've done is they've tried to make this look like a text message. Sometimes you'll see a video where the text is actually animated. And what they're doing is they've gone, so I clicked on the text here and I clicked on up here under the animate button. So I've already clicked on typewriter previously. And so I can click on typewriter and then there have all kinds of controls. So either it animates on enter or on exit. I can change the speed, I can slow it down. And you can do different kinds of things. I can also do a shift. It just depends on what kind of feel I want. But this also draws people in because they're waiting for those letters to type out. And how many times have you sat there and said, "Oh, what's it going to say at the end?" And so it kind of draws people in, stops them from scrolling, and you're able to demonstrate whatever point you're trying to get to capture people's attention. All right, so then this one here is also just another template that's right inside Canva for New Year's, and it has lots of sparkle. It has the fireworks behind. It has the water that's underneath, the reflection off of the water, and you're able to change different things. When I click on this, see how it looks like it's kind of glowing? This is all under effects, and so they've gone and they've done a neon effect. And you're able to change, the different intensity. You're able to move this back and forth. So there's different things you can do for this here is just, it's a graphic, not an editable option. And some things, like you'll see on the next slide here, sometimes the things that you have available to you in Canva are just for background purposes. I'm going to show you here. So each one of these is something that they've added and that is editable. So if I'm able to highlight it, then I can change it. And I can change the font, or I can change whatever I'm trying to do. But this background, see how I can't drag this background? If I want to see what this background looks like as an image, I can right click on that background and click detach from background. And so then I'm able to move this around, and you can see how none of the graphics that are inside of this image are changeable. And so not everything that you find in the Canva library or the Elements library is going to be something that you're able to fully edit. And so we are at the end of my portion, and I'm going to kick this over to Janet, and she can show you a little bit more of an advanced feature on how to, if you don't really have time to do a lot of graphics, or to do individual graphics, she's going to show you how to easily do other things. I'll let her take it away.
Yeah, we'll do. So we'll do some stuff here. So thank you, Lindsay. That was some great design tips in Canva. I think the messaging I heard the strongest was start with their templates.
Yes.
Unless you have some graphic design training or you have a lot of time on your hands, right?
Yes.
Don't, like, we both design. I'm not starting from scratch hardly ever. I try to pick at least a texture or a background or a template, and then I just delete a bunch of stuff and add some stuff. And so there's no need to feel like you have to start with anything but a template. And if you're really All right, are we back? Yikes. All right, we lost internet there for a minute. At least on my side we did.
Yes, I think that was me too.
All right, so I think we're back. So sorry about that. As we were saying, don't be too proud to start with templates, is what we're saying.
Mhm. You know,
So,
one of the most clarifying things for me as I was learning how to be a designer was because when I came out of school, I genuinely thought everybody was coming from a blank page and that everybody just magically knew how to do the stuff. And then when I saw videos of other designers doing the things that I was trying to do, and they were starting with templates and they were starting with, they were not starting with blank page and drawing shapes on a square. That was very clarifying for me and encouraging because I thought that I wasn't as lost as I thought that I was. So that's a really good point to make.
yeah. So, well, I'm going to show you a method using an AI tool to create your post. So she showed you all the design stuff, but what if you don't know what to say? I don't know what to
Mm-hmm.
say for the holiday social media stuff. So we're going to look at that really quickly. And Lindsay, I know we lost your desktop, so if you could add that back while we're working on this, then that'd be great. All right, so here we have a tool that's free called NotebookLM. If you're not familiar with NotebookLM.google.com, I highly encourage you to get familiar with it. Wow, you get to see all my open tabs, which is terrible. Sorry about that. But NotebookLM.google.com, I have some other videos on this channel about NotebookLM. So I encourage you to check that out. But I'm just going to give you a quick reason why I'm showing you this free tool. So I created our brand in one of the notebooks, and I'm not going to go over all the details. Again, you can watch in another video how to do this, but you can add resources. So I added our brand guide, I added our business plan, I added our website, I added some other things that I pasted in, so things I wanted it to know. And so I've created this notebook about our brand. It's a closed system now, so it's not going out and finding weird things about future ready this or that would be not about our brand. So it's a closed system. It only looks at the resources that you want it to. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a prompt to get some social holiday graphics or sayings together to put on our Canva. So I've created this prompt for you and I've put it in the description below so that you can access it. But when you ask any kind of AI tool to do something for you, first you want it to tell how to act. So here we have, I want you to act as a social media creator and then you put your business in, which we'll do that in a second, and create a table. So that's telling it how you want the output. So you're telling it how to act and what kind of output to put with X number of social media posts for the holidays in November, December, and January. So it's pretty specific, the holidays I'm looking at. The goal is to increase awareness of our brand. So you always want to have a goal for your social media. And, Lindsay, you can chime in if you have thoughts on that, but you always want to have a goal. So it might be increase awareness of your brand. It might be increase website traffic. It might be increase foot traffic to your brick and mortar. It might be increase followers. So always put a goal in. So now we have act as, how do I want my output? What do I want you to do? I want you to create X number of social media posts. And what's the goal? And then what does the table include? So I said the table should include post copy, so the copy that goes on the post, the sentiment to be graphic, and use a tone. So you can pick a tone. You can say professional tone. You can say tone. You can say sarcastic tone, whatever you want. I don't recommend sarcasm for your branding, but whatever. And then use it. So I said use a caring tone for the post. And then I always say, do you have any questions? You can put this prompt in ChatGPT as well, or Gemini, or Claude, or whatever you want. But I also always end my prompts with, do you have any questions, so that the AI can ask me questions it doesn't understand. All right, so let's copy this post, or this prompt. I'm going to put it in here. All right, I need to change it to my business. So I'm just going to say, for this business. Okay. And I'm going to have it create, I don't know, 10. Social media posts for all the holidays in November, December, and January. And then I have the goal and all that. So then we're going to hit go. So you can do this again in any of the AI tools, but if you do it in NotebookLM after you've trained it about your business, it'll be a lot more geared towards your business and use your keywords and things like that. So I recommend you do that. So boom. All right. Just as long as it took Lindsay to take a drink of her coffee, because I saw her drinking her coffee, we have our 10 social posts. I didn't know about World Kindness Day, so we got that one. We've got Small Business Saturday, Native American Heritage Month, Hanukkah, Human Solidarity, Kwanzaa, New Year's, Martin Luther King. It did not put in Christmas, which is interesting. But you can also say add Christmas to the table as well. Please. I say please. I'm so polite to my AI. All right. So let's add some Christmas in here. That's funny. All right. So we have Martin Luther King Day now. We have Christmas, Hanukkah, Small Business Day. So let's say you're like, I don't have time to put a whole lot of posts up. But now at least you've got some of these holidays covered. You know what to say in the post copy, and you know what to say in a graphical sentiment, and I'm going to show you how to use that. I always recommend you go in and read these through, edit so they sound like you and your brand. Don't just use them the way they are, but at the moment that's what I'm going to do because I want to get this training done. So, so I'm going to copy this. All right. And now we need to, let me see here. Hold on. I need to go into a different window, but I don't know if I have that window chosen. So hold on one second. Any thoughts on this so far, Lindsay?
No, I think it's great. I'm excited to see what comes next.
Me too. No, I'm kidding. All right, let me pull
One
up
thing,
my other.
one pro tip that I will give about any kind of AI is I would highly recommend asking AI to give you a description of your business or your organization and give them your website. So that way it can not only go and it will read everything that's on your website and give you feedback on what's on there. But then if you have a business and you're not you think you're telling people what you do and where you're located and how to interact with you, AI will read all of that and then give you a review back. And then a lot of times, if you get one sentence back, you know you're not doing a very good job of telling people what you're doing and who you are. So that's also a good way to get feedback without having to ask any of your friends to go give you reviews and things like that.
That's a great suggestion. Whoop, I just lost an earpiece. We're having all kinds of issues today.
That's okay.
That's okay. All right. Let's flip over now. We've got, so here's a Google Sheet. You can use Excel or Sheets or whatever you want. And I just copied that, and I'm just going to paste that into here from what we had before. So here you see my holiday, my post copy, and my graphic sentiment. And I'm going to remove, whoops, I'm going to, well, it worked. I'm going to delete these rows above because it's going to confuse. It's going to confuse everything. All right, so there we go. Now you can make this pretty so you can read everything, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead now and export. or download as a CSV. So download it as a CSV next. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now I've done that. All right. Now, whoops, wrong. Whoops. We'll get there. There we go. All right. So now I have created a page, a square page. This is a just a square that you can use for most social media. So I like to use a square. And I have put a paragraph text here, and I grabbed a couple of design elements from Canva. So these are just little kind of brackets, okay? And I should put this in my brand, or if I think I want to do some kind of interesting, I don't know, script font, you can. Let me see if there's something interesting. I guess I'm going to leave it. Go ahead and leave it in my brand for now, but we can change it later if we want. All right. So we have your brand font here. We have a couple design elements, and you're thinking, well, this is about the most boring social graphic we could ever do. But it's getting better quick, so stand by. All right. So now we are going to go to apps. Actually, I already have it open. You're looking for bulk create. It's called bulk create right here. And it's in the apps area, and you can search for it, but I use it all the time. So, well, not all the time, but I use it a lot. So you're going to click bulk create, and it's going to walk you through the process of creating these holiday socials. And so why am I showing you this? If you have the time or even a calendar of all the holidays, great, then you make your graphics as you go. This is the quick and easy way to even do a whole quarter of graphics or a month of graphics, or if you're not getting socials up, this is a quicker way to do that. So I'm going to go ahead. You can enter the data manually, or you can upload. So I'm going to upload this, the social media we just, hopefully this is the one I just did. We're gonna upload that, and so you see we have the holiday, the post copy, and the graphic sentiment. So those are our 3 sets of data. All right, now it says connect data to your elements. So we're gonna come over here, and I'm gonna right click on my paragraph, and I am going to say connect data. All right, and now it wants to know what field or what column do I want to connect? Well, I want to connect the graphic sentiment. All right. So now I've connected this paragraph text to the graphic sentiment, and I'm going to hit continue. And you can see then all the ones it's done. Now this one is blank for some reason. I'm going to delete that. But it has all of these. It says, are you good to go? And then you say generate 9 designs. So we wait. And now we have 9 slides with our different sentiments all in our design. Now this is one way you can do it. There's other ways you can, different orders, but this is the order I like. All right. So let's do, here's the small business one. So this, you might have to go back and look at your data, but this is the small business statement. All right. So now we're going to do the things that, and I used these recently. Now we're going to do the stuff that Lindsay taught us. We're going to go grab a background, which I just searched for small business, and I got photographs. So I'm going to drag this background here. Boom. All right, that looks nice. And now I think I'm going to add this in there. And I need to remove the background of this small business thing. So I'm going to hit background remove, and it's gone. And you're going to look and you're going to say, what happened to our pretty design elements? They're gone here. Well, if you go to position and layers, which I love this, you can see what the layers are. So what happened is my background covered everything up. So I'm going to move it all the way to the bottom Now you see our nice kind of framing there. I think I'm going to also reduce the transparency a bit so we can see the words a little better. You can change the word colors if you want and pick a brand color. I'm going to pick our blue, I think. Whoops. And you can add some other elements to this. But what you can do now is go through all these and just add the backgrounds, right? So here's our Hanukkah one. So let's do Hanukkah, and then you see all of these backgrounds. So I think I like this one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move it over just a hair. And this is the part Lindsay just showed us, so you don't even need me for this. And we're going to go ahead and drag this background all the way down again because we want our little brackets back. And you can get rid of those, change them, but I just wanted something to kind of bracket all these statements. All right, there's another one done. So we just go through and add all of our different backgrounds and everything together so that you have now 9 or 10 sentiments are written. Then you go back to your spreadsheet and you copy your written material that you want in the post, and it usually has emojis and everything. The AI does that, and you copy that in, and you can use a post scheduler like High Level, or do you use a post scheduler, Lindsay? Social media post scheduler?
I just go into the Facebook like business,
like Meta
suite.
Or something.
Yeah.
So you can go into those. Make sure you also post to your Google Business Profile. Just like your social media, post to your Google Business Profile, and you'll get your posts done much faster. You won't get a headache. You won't miss a lot of time where you need to be focusing on other parts of your business. Make sure you can have the AI if you have a sale that's coming up or offer that you'd like to do, Black Friday, you'd like to do a 10% off, 20% off. You can have it create 5 of those, and you can post those really quickly. So bulk create's really nice if you don't really have time to think about the different holidays and all the things you'd like to say. It's also nice to use the AI tool to get you some ideas and get you started and not have to look up all the holidays. So that's just, and you can go back through and watch that more slowly, but I think that's a great way to get some social media posts done for the holidays really quickly, and then fine-tune each one with the design tips that Lindsay gave you. So what do you think, Lindsay? You got anything to say about that little process?
This is a really great opportunity for you to weave in some keywords as well to help you be more searchable online. So you can tell AI, please include, these keywords or this keyword, depending on specifically what you're talking about. And so that way, when people are going on their Facebook search bar, their Google search bar, and they're typing in what they're looking for, this gives you an opportunity to make sure that you have the keywords that are specific to your business to make you more findable online.
Yeah, that's great. And one of the things, if you do use NotebookLM, you can create, paste text. So if you already have a list of keywords, you can paste a text and add it to the notebook so you have all your keywords. You can always add more to it as you go. So what's nice is that it kind of now houses all of that material for you. So then you can go back to that tool and ask for more social media posts for the new year. You can go back and ask for ideas for specials or giveaways. If you're a brick and mortar and you have an item that you've had a while and you really would like to get out of the storeroom, buy $100 worth of stuff, get a free whatever's back in your storeroom that you need to get out of there. So there's different things you can offer. And as long as you put in a text note in your notebook to say, hey, I've got these 50 holiday candles I really would like to get rid of. Can you create a 5 social media posts for the week to leading up to Black Friday to get rid of them? It'll do that for you. So Don't sleep on the AI. And what's nice about NotebookLM is it's an enclosed system. It's not going out and grabbing material all over the internet.
Yeah.
It's just taking it from your material that you trained it with, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is nice. We have about
All right,
5
we
minutes.
got one person on here still. All right, we have. I hope I pronounced this right. Melanie from, and she's working on her game Gifts and Powers. And thanks. We're glad you were here, and we appreciate you. And if you have any questions, we got another minute or two, and let's go ahead and we'll put up that we'll go ahead and put that up so that people can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're welcome to check out our websites and email us if you have any more questions. That QR code you see up there in the ornament is to a community that we both help facilitate for small business owners. You can ask questions. You'll find more of these events and opportunities posted there to see more live videos or webinars or our recorded YouTube videos. Sometimes we post resources. Sometimes we find resources and we just link them in there. So we encourage you to join that community. The link will also be in the description below on the YouTube channel. What else, Lindsay?
I think that's about it. I think we've covered a lot.
We have covered a lot. So go back in a day or two when you've rested and watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And another trick.
Share with your friends.
Yes, please share this out. If you're a Main Street person, please share out with your store owners and your contacts. We would love for you to share it. I hope it brings you a lot of value. And a little trick, once the transcript's posted, grab that transcript and have AI create instructions or a summary or whatever you want so that it's a little easier to digest. And we appreciate all of you, and keep an eye out. We got more to come. So, Lindsay, thanks. It was fun.
Absolutely.
And remember, everybody, without creating impact, it doesn't matter. See you next time.
See ya.